Buddy, how are you? Well, there's quite a few people here, so we can definitely get started. So for those of you who don't know, tonight we are hosting our very first He versus She, which is basically going to be relationships and a few other things. Chris, introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? So Chris Marvell, relationship coach, author. I've been around the moon and back talking about relationships and love. So I'm excited, of course. The thing is about this is that this is what me and Sabrina do off camera. We have a lot of debates off camera, so we just thought it would be fruitful to bring it to you.
Absolutely. And he is a really good friend of mine, but he's also a relationship coach. So I want to ask you, Chris, what makes you a relationship coach? Because we got some fakers out there. So what makes you real?
So I've been certified as a relationship coach, life coach first, then a relationship coach. And right now I'm finishing my master's for clinical psychology. So I do this. And I've also written 2 books, one with my wife and also one by myself. Both of those you can find on my website, thefreshlifebrand.com. So yeah, I mean, I'm certified and never petrified. What's with that?
That was good.
Like that.
That was good. Okay, so on this phone, I need to get connected to the Wi-Fi. So I'm trying to figure out, usually when I do a live, guys, it's very simple. I'm using one tablet or phone, and I'm also always getting invited to somebody's live. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the live on my phone, also have it on this device, answer the questions, put the titles. It's very hard for me to join my own live. So
well, listen,
I can do it from, okay, so you could, but I can only put the title.
True.
So forget the title because we've already started it. The title is what we just said, why won't he commit to me? And this is in particularly for ladies. So what I will do is I will do Q&A. I will join the live from my other page, my Sabrina's Detox Tea page.
Versatile.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do until I figure this whole thing out. And then we will start getting the discussion started. So I will say this was Chris's idea. So tell me why. Why are we doing this, Chris?
Because I just think that it is fruitful for us to answer some of these questions that are always answering these questions. And so we often talk about things about relationships, and we sometimes come to an agreement and sometimes we don't. But I think the conversation is fruitful for everybody.
I agree. And I was personally interested because, I'm no expert. I always say I give my non-expert advice when I talk about relationships because I'm still learning, I'm still growing. But I feel like I have the same conversations over and over and over again with other women, some of my friends, some strangers. And I just really want to get them some insight coming from a male's perspective because I think I'm always sounding like, oh, here she go again. She don't understand. She hasn't been in my position. When the reality is, yes, I have. But in your position, I have acted differently. I've made different choices that have given me different results. So I'm going to be very real and transparent. He's going to be very real and transparent. I think that how this is going to go is we're going to start off both giving our perspective to the answer. Why won't men commit to us? And then towards the end, we're going to open up for question and answers. So I think Chris should go first.
Okay.
And then, because I am argumentative and want to rebuttal everything, I'll go second.
So why won't men commit to me? All right. So let's just start here. When we talk about commitment in dating, that is something that you have to lay out early. Like, what is it that you want ideally? And I think many times when men enter these relationships, women often walk on their tippy toes because they don't want to scare the guy away. So what ends up happening is they don't speak very clearly about what they want early, and that allows him position early to kind of dictate the terms. The thing about us guys, and I'm not saying all of us, and a lot of us, we have great intentions, but it is very, very often that without a game plan, without us moving a certain direction, it's going to turn into the bedroom. And I have thoughts about the bedroom when it comes to dating that I'm not going to drop just yet, but I do believe that it is imperative that women lay down some type of track, speak your mind, be vocal, because you have nothing to lose in date number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. say exactly what you need.
That's so true.
And if you don't say it early, you're setting the tone early. And you're setting the tone for disappointment. You're setting the tone for expectations to be missed. You're setting the tone for a sexual relationship that will turn toxic. And so you have to set the tone early. That's going to be the game changer.
I feel like our screen was stuck. Yeah, it definitely was. I was like, there's a lot happening on my phone and there's nothing happening here. I think I just saw my mom. Okay, someone said right.
I said this before. I said you are not a sampler in the cafeteria in the mall.
Oh!
People don't have to taste you in order to know what you like.
That is so good.
I just threw it out.
You are not a sampler in the mall. Raise your hand if you ever done sampled yourself out. Like multiple times. Please come back and get more. I have more left.
The new tray.
Clear my plate.
The new tray.
That is so funny. That's so great. That's such good insight. Okay,
So what are your thoughts on why men won't commit?
Okay, so ladies, don't fight me. Okay, I just want to be brutally honest here. Okay, I feel like if the man does not, I'm not going to say does not. If the man is not committing to you, that is your fault, not his fault. Because he's only going to do or not do what you allow. Okay? He can't. Now, you can accidentally get run over by a car, right? You can be not looking both ways, or the car could be speeding or whatever. That's why they have accidents. But if you stand in the middle of the street and it's dark, you're not very visible.
Say it again.
You're gonna get hit by the car. Okay? Then you can't be upset and say, ouch. I'm all bruised and battered and that driver should have never hit me. You put yourself in a position to get hurt, okay? Because you didn't protect yourself. You didn't look both ways. You thought, oh, they see me. They just gonna go around, right? So I believe that women get in situations and they feel like my sex, my cooking skills, my looks, it's gonna change whatever else he thought about me. It's going to make him stay here. He's going to love me more than the other girl because I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to give him everything I have. And he's going to love it so much, he's not going nowhere. And then when he doesn't, you're all upset. You're hurt. You're questioning yourself. You hate men. Why would he do me like that? I did everything for him. Did he ask you for everything? Did he ask you for anything? He could just say, I want to see you. You think that means get your hair done, get your nails done, cook dinner, get a babysitter, come spend the night, put the good comforters out. All he said was, I want to see you. So to layman's terms, answer the question. I think that you're not valuing yourself and you're not presenting, like he said, what you want. Because I truly believe not all men, this does not apply for all men, okay? Majority. If you tell them day one, I'm looking for something serious, I'm looking for a father for my kids, I'm looking to become a mom, looking to get married, you'll know from that point on what he's interested in.
Facts.
100%. He's either going to run like the wind because okay, she's crazy, she wants too much. Or he may stick around, see if we can get him some, let's be honest. But you'll know what that language looks like. Or he's going to commit. He's going to say, oh, well, I'm looking for a wife. And I want to have kids. How many kids you want to have? The conversation will change. So also, I asked this question with a few answers on my page. So I want to go look at the answers that we had. And I want us to discuss the choices people did. So let me just find this really quick. Okay, so it was like a little survey. It was 3 options. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So how do was it really only one reply? How do I see them? Okay, anyways, we'll just do it here. So I don't know how to check this quiz thing. So it was a little survey, I guess. And the question was, why won't he commit to me? A, he's not ready. B, he doesn't really like me. Or C, he's already in a relationship. So Chris, if you had to pick one of these, would it be A, he's not ready, B, he doesn't really like me, or C, he's already in a relationship?
A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Now, here's the thing. Let me just work down from A. A.
I'm going to screenshot that.
A again. Let me see. He's not ready. I've kind of found that in this era of 2020, I've done different surveys. I've asked men, what is the holdup?
He doesn't really like me.
Yeah, I mean, what is the holdup between getting married or even seeking a wife? Or I've put out there, on my Instagram, these women are looking for, someone. When I tell you that it is like darkness, like no one has an answer. And so I don't know if men are prepared for that. Now, what I believe is that men don't think they're ready financially. I believe that's probably one of the biggest
here are the answers.
Okay, so most of the audience said that he's not ready.
Most of the audience says A, he's not ready.
So now, I don't think that a man is ready, especially when you really get down to the nitty gritty and you've been in a relationship. If you don't have yourself situated somehow financially, it's going to come out in your relationship. So then when we talk about he doesn't really like me, sis, that's on you.
A lot of people feel that way.
But you gotta, listen, as a woman.
How could you not like me?
Listen,
that is how I feel about myself.
You done been around, when somebody's vibing you.
Right.
But I have come across many different clients of mine who say, I don't know if he likes me. He don't call me no more. And then I have to keep calling him, call me back. And then my girlfriend said that he was out with this other girl. I just don't know if he liked me. Sis, he like everybody else. He don't like you. And the difference is, people gotta just we have to be honest with ourselves. I just think that we struggle when we like somebody with being honest with ourselves.
Yes.
That's what I think. What was the last one?
He's already in a relationship.
All right. Well, now this is just a whole nother.
That happens.
When men are dating, like multiple people, he's never serious. I don't believe that. That's my stance. I think that if you are serious about dating, you're willing to date one woman, check it out, and then move on.
Okay.
Because you can't break down a human being by dating multiple people. I mean, that's hard to do. How can I get to know you if I'm also getting to know Tiffany? And then the next day I'm getting to know Stacy. Like, I'm getting to know all these people, and then I'm coming back to you, and you think I can spiritually separate the two? That's almost like I'm driving myself crazy. I'm confusing your spirit with Tiffany's spirit. So I need to figure out, how serious am I about walking down the aisle in 1 year? That should be the goal.
Someone said he's separated. We're going to get back to that when we do the Q&A.
Separate from responsibility.
I think that whole separated, let me tell y'all my perspective on this. And I've experienced this. Men that are married, still legally married, right? And have conveyed they're living in different houses, or maybe they're not sleeping in the same bed, or maybe they're just separated, My take on that is so great for you. Call me when you're divorced. Literally. And this happened to me. Like, I had an ex, right? He went and got married. We both went and got married to other people. And years later, here he comes. He wants to date me again, but he's still married, like physically married, but separated, but not divorced. And I said to him, call me when you're divorced. 6 months later, he called me when he was divorced. He sent a picture of his divorce papers.
Man, it was serious.
He was very serious. And I said, well, you were really serious. Like, I was just saying the thing, but it was more so like, before I can even have a friendly conversation with you, you got to get out of your situation. 100%. I learned the hard way doing that. And I just felt like you can never serve me what my true desires are if you're still connected to another person. Man, it's just not possible. Yeah, exactly. So all of that, I get a lot of DMs from women that are talking about they're in love with this guy and he's married, but he's unhappy, or he's separated, or he has something going on in another situation. In most cases, if he's going to leave her, if he wants to leave her, he's going to leave. You don't have to wait for that. It's going to happen, whether you encourage him or not. So what you said, I want to piggyback off of that. You said something about we kind of create an image, or
yes,
it made me think of we create a false reality. When we meet men,
we create the reality because it is what we dreamed of, and we want our girlfriends and our families to perceive. When you reach a certain age, you get to a place where not being in a relationship looks like failure, and that's perception. You got the degree, you got the nice house, you got all this, and then every family dinner, you still coming home by yourself to the family dinner and not with somebody else. And that looks like failure, even though every area of your life is working. You know what looks like success? Not choosing the wrong person. Not coming to dinner with somebody who just sleeping on you. Not coming to dinner with somebody who's taking all your money. Not coming to dinner with somebody who's beneath you. That's success. Yes. It is a failure to come to dinner with Bobby, who ain't got no business in the bed with you.
Right. Okay, Chris. So women struggle with that. They show up to the dinners and they're like, when you gonna have some kids? When you gonna be married? And all these things. Help us out. Give us a response to that, okay? Because what you just said was really good as far as not picking the wrong guy is, basically that's the right thing to do. So help these ladies out with, Thanksgiving is coming around the corner, Labor Day. They're gonna be like, girl, what, you know what they say. So help us with the response to that question.
So picking the right guy?
No, just when Auntie Betty.
Oh boy.
It's like, girl, you still ain't got no man.
All right. So here's the thing.
How do you respond to Auntie Betty?
Well, the truth is that Auntie Betty is attempting to live her youth through you, and because she picked Billie Jean, who been broken down since '87. She looking at the young boys, that you with or that's coming around, and she want you to make a decision that she wish she made. I believe that in choosing a spouse, there is no other important aspect of choices on this natural earth other than getting saved.
Okay.
And the truth is that's you. There's no play with that. Like when you're choosing somebody to kick it with, spend your time, divest your stories. Everybody don't deserve to hear your life story on a date. You have to be very careful about who you spend time with because it's not infinite. You're going to die one day and you're going to look up and people going to be like, she spent a lot of time with the wrong dudes. I wish she would have spent the time really taking care of herself, positioning herself for the right one so that she would have left a bigger legacy.
Okay, so what does that response look like? What are we saying to Aunt Betty?
Oh, let me be real. Aunt Betty, let me tell you something. Just mind your business. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm Betty.
Okay.
I totally understand that you are concerned for me. And, Mama, I understand you're concerned for me. And I know you want me to find a husband. Mama, hell, I want to find a husband. But right now, with the season I'm in and the way that I've set my life up, I can't just take anybody. Okay? When I am Mama, I've set up my life as a Mercedes-Benz. When people come to the lot for me, they got to apply for credit. And if they credit don't match up, they don't qualify for taking me out nowhere. So that's the same thing. That's the same thing that you got to have in place. And you got to stick to that and tell your parents that, but you got to live it. You got to live it out. Yes. Because if you don't, you'll look like you're contradicting yourself.
Absolutely. That was so good, Chris. I know that helps somebody. If that helps somebody, please drop a 100 emoji so we can know how many people the Christians help with that response. Because that, for me, that's anxiety. There's been times where I'm not going to the cookout or the family outing because I don't have a date. Right. And I don't want to deal with it because I'm going to be the one to disrespect and be like, mind your business. When are you going to lose 50 pounds? I don't need all of that. So I just don't go, but I really see you getting a lot of 100s. People are really being helped by that because I know we need help with how we're dealing with the pressure from other people. Yeah. But understand this, people who are pressuring you probably don't have it figured out themselves. Okay? Facts. As he said, they're trying to live their lives through you. So another question I have for Chris.
Wow, you loaded me.
I know, because we need all this. We need all the good stuff. We need big brother advice. Okay. So what made you commit to your wife? And let's talk, before you answer that question, you've been married how long?
It'll be almost 10 years in October.
Okay, so he's been married almost 10 years. Has it been perfect?
No.
Has there been hard moments?
Absolutely.
Do you have any regrets?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I asked those questions. I knew the answers, but I asked these questions because we have a fairy tale reality of relationships, what they're supposed to look like, what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's why when anybody is publicly going through a breakup or argument or whatever, we're shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we just thought they was just so in love. Guess what? They are in love.
Facts.
And they're struggling, and they're learning and they're growing because it's a journey. So he's been married almost 10 years. So tell us why you committed to your beautiful wife.
All right. So it's funny. Commitment comes in stages. So early on, I was interested in my wife. And so I committed my time to her. So I isolated my time to her. That's one level of commitment.
Okay.
And so that's
I hope
me.
y'all took a note on that.
That's me dating her.
He gonna give you some time.
Yeah, so you got time. He got to give you some time.
Outside the bed, right?
It shouldn't even, listen, if you go to
What
bed.
does that time look like?
If you go to bed, you might as well clock out. Because anytime you are dating and the underwear come off and you land in bed, satisfaction will always breed resentment. And so the minute that you are done, both of y'all done got y'all rocks off, I imagine if men in the room, y'all can attest to this. And be honest, I'm gonna tell the secrets. If you have sex with a man, I'm telling you right now, majority of the time, not all the time, majority of the time, he will lose a
Look, all the women saying that's not true. You don't want to believe it.
That's fine.
It's true. You don't want to believe it.
He will lose a percentage of interest in you. He won't necessarily call you as much. He will have trouble connecting with you because the most valuable part of his anatomy is reproducing. Mm-hmm. And so if he's already experimenting with that part, something in him just says, yeah, I'm not really that interested in kind of pursuing this ever, again. You have to build in stages. So time is number one. Next, I committed my heart to my wife. And so now I'm in the throes of, I know her, I'm getting to know her. I'm interested in knowing the parts of her that don't nobody else know. And the parts of her that she don't want nobody else to know, so much so that I won't turn her away when I find out those parts. Mm-hmm. After that, I'm now committing my entire being to her, my trust and my faith to her. Now, this is the stage of when many couples have issues with their marriage. They got issues with finance, with faithfulness, with family issues. And so when I can move from the heart to my whole self, that means that we've worked through some stuff.
Hold on, I have to block somebody.
Like, I legit don't see a space that we can go to now.
I did.
Unless my wife put a gun to my head in my sleep, that we would leave each other. We've been through the thick and the throes. So now I've been through all the stages of commitment, and so now we've been through that.
Okay, that was a wonderful answer. And just to reiterate what Chris said, he said not all men, majority.
Not all men.
So everyone is saying that's not true. I had a one-night stand. I've been married 30 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you got a very small percentage, and I'm really happy for you, like, honestly. But that is not something we're going to teach because it worked for you. And then someone I saw said, I put it on my man and he moved in. I don't know why you feel like that's an accomplishment. Just being honest. Yeah. It sounds like dysfunction. It would have been better if you said something like, I put it on him and then he tried to marry me. Mm-hmm. Like he started dating me. Mm-hmm. But everybody has different desires. Everyone is not desiring marriage. Everyone is not desiring to have true love. Some people just want a companion, somebody in their bed. And that may be enough for you. So the things that we're saying is not for every woman, for every man. It's the majority. It's the proper and healthy way to be, is what I want you guys to understand.
What are your thoughts on like having sex during the dating aspect? Like how have you seen that impact the relationship?
Oh, well, my experience has been, if I had sex too soon, he probably left way before I wanted him to. I'm just being honest. Majority of the guys. And the relationship I'm in right now, because that's all that matters, I did this one a little differently, to be honest. I really wanted to take my time with Lamar because, first of all, let's be 100. He is Lamar Odom. He didn't have how many women he admitted to. I didn't want to be another woman on that list. And in order for me to truly understand what he was here for, I needed to not even introduce sex at all. Okay, so I felt like to see clearly, to really see who he is and get to know him, we just can't have sex. We were intimate, meaning I would hold his hand, we would kiss, I would spend the night, but it was no sex. And that went on for a couple months before we even really like talked about why we're not having sex. You know,
Takes
like
a lot of discipline.
Yeah. So with him, I was able to see, he just really likes me. He's really into me because he hasn't gotten into me. That'll preach.
And it's true intimacy.
I'm like, let me put that in my notes, y'all. That was really good. That was really good. But for those who ask me what Lamar is, he's not here. Okay, next question. So help me remember that because I can't get to my notes the way. He was into me without being into me. So anyways.
Quotes.
Definitely always get a quote when you speak. So while dating Lamar, not having sex didn't have me all confused about where we're going, where we're at. You know, we get like we get in that place where we like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to ask because I don't want to stop it, because I think I kind of know what we're doing, which is nothing. So if I ask a question, he may think I'm being too pushy. We didn't have to do any of that. It was literally like, we're having fun. We're dating. We're getting to know each other. That's clear because our actions are showing that. He respected my time. He respected my boundaries. And we're going to get into boundaries real quick.
Yeah.
Very soon. But for me, sex is confusing, and then I could start using it as a weapon.
Now, you better get into that.
So, because this thing down here.
It is.
It'll kill you, okay? And it will bless you at the same time. So, you don't want to call me back? Let me send you a little picture snap. Where you at? We know how to use this thing. We know how to use this thing. Pure manipulation. You acting funny. Then let me go act like I'm about to give it to somebody else. So you could be questioning yourself because I know that's going to really hurt your feelings. If you ever think I'm about to go over here with it, since you ain't over here with it, just this thing is...
It's like oil.
It's literally... It's a way of control.
People go to war.
So I know... Yes. Mama Lewis came in here and said that's why you should be married. Okay. So yeah, that's correct. So in the past it's like it's confusing. I can use it as a weapon. I can use it as manipulation. And no, mommy she came and blew down in the live. And it can also make me feel like what's wrong with me? If I give it to them and they don't come back for more.
Wow.
What's wrong with me? Because I gave him the thing I value the most.
Wow.
So why would he not come back for more?
And that's the problem, is that now you've given away the one thing that was the strongest piece, like the one thing that you protect the most, like your heart is connected to that part. So essentially, it feels amazing on your wedding night in a perfect world. In a perfect world. We
live in a fallen world.
If you were in a perfect world, it would be unbelievable if that was the first time you had sex with somebody. Like that would be amazing. But instead, we trade things. And so men give love to get sex and women give sex to get love. And the exchange ain't even.
No.
It's not even at all. And so what happens is that men end up entangled in something that they can't get out of either. So now they've given off this perception. That they're in with you because they're showing you love so that they can get into bed.
Yes.
So by the time that you've given them the draws a couple times, now they're going to contradict themselves into some degree because the love that they show was to get to the goal. Now you have given off something that almost makes your heart kick up. And now you looking for the love return, and now it ain't kicking the same way it was. So now if both of you are interested, you're fighting to get back to this space of interest. You want him to get back to the space where he was still as interested before you gave him the draws, and he wants you to keep it still fresh. That's a very difficult space to be in. Like, you gotta save the PU.
Okay, so let me tell you what else we do, Chris, as women. After we give it up, right? And as you were saying, you know, whenever point, if you worked for it, you know, to get to the goal and you finally get it, whenever we give it to you, right? If you don't then act the way we envision in our head, we start accepting and saying, oh, well, this will work for me. It's not really what I wanted, but, you know, I mean, I wanted him to be my man, but he told me he got stuff going on and it's not a good time, and so I respect that. I'm going to give him some time. I'm going to be a rider. You're going to just ride. First of all, you're riding and you're dying. You're literally killing yourself doing this for a man. But we do this. We be like, we start rationalizing his excuses or his reasons or whatever, or his absence or his silence. So some people don't say anything. Some men just don't say anything. We literally just start making up reasons why it's okay to stay in this place because we just gave him something that we valued so much.
You know why? Because in the end, you're always trying to gain back what you gave away. And so you're trying to do it through time. You're willing to sacrifice everything because you gave it away for the commitment. And so now you're willing to go through everything and settle and do everything possible to get back the value of the sex that you gave up.
Correct.
And so when you hold on to that, you don't have to chase anymore.
Right, Auntie. We do be settling. Why do we settle? Why? We'll get to that in the Q&A because I know why we settle.
Y'all tell me, what is the number one reason that y'all have settled in the past?
For me, I'll just get real free here. My biggest settlement that I ever received was my first marriage.
Okay.
And it's nothing against him because on paper, he's a hell of a guy. Until this day, he's remarried and they're having a great marriage. He made good money. He was very handsome. He had a degree. He checked
the boxes.
All of them. You know how they be like, I want a house and a white picket fence. We had all of that, right?
You actually had a white picket fence.
We literally had a white picket fence.
We
did. He's been there. So why? So you're probably like, what was wrong? What was happening? It was a settlement for me because I wasn't ready to be a wife. And because of the pressure of being a single mom.
That's real.
With children, I did it anyway. No, I want to break the stigma. I want to break the generational curse. He want to be my husband and he want to take care of my kid and he want to take care of our kid. Let's do it. Forget it. Everything else will fall in place later because I don't want to work this hard. I don't want to work through my pain. I don't want to get through the healing. I don't want to wait for the next guy who there's one right here that's already accepting to this. So I settle. And
you passed the red flags.
All of them.
Yeah.
Brokenness, great word. You know, so everybody's settling looks different. But the point is, settling to me is when you allow something to happen to you that you know you truly don't want. That's all it is.
When you allow something to happen to you, that is good.
That's all it is. So I knew I didn't want that. He did. I let him convince me because it was some great characteristics, you know? Who don't want a handsome, athletic, money-making father, you know, to be a husband? Yeah. So no, I'm going to hold on to this. So anyways, we all settle for different reasons, but I think it all stems from a lack of healing and a lack of self-worth.
I think that we have trouble.
I'm gonna get some more wine, y'all. Hold on.
I think we have trouble acknowledging the fact that we settle because it's a representation of our issues. And so often we have trouble really dealing with our own issues. But the problem is when we don't deal with our issues, they come out in every area of our life. So we have these issues and they come out in how we spend money. It comes out in who we kick it with. It comes out in the time that we spend searching other people's lives, scrolling through Instagram, hoping that somebody's life is either worse than ours or somebody that we can envy enough to make ourselves feel bad. And that all comes from the fact that we're not healthy. If we were to spend an entire year getting our heart and our head right, we would be extremely powerful and would make decisions that would change the dynamics of our life.
I want to block Jasmine and Nina, by the way.
But so often we're so focused on feeling good that we treat our love life like Amazon. And so whatever we feel is something we need in the moment, we just order it up with a call and a text. And so then we end up regretting what we ordered because it really was cheap in the end, and that's why it came so fast.
Come on
Good
now.
Lord.
Come on now. That's why Amazon killing it.
Oh my
You
goodness.
just broke down the whole business
Man.
strategy. Amazon is killing it because it's cheap.
Wow.
And it comes so fast.
Yeah. Wow.
That is good.
And good love don't come fast.
No. Say that again. Explain that.
What?
Okay, wait.
I said two things.
Okay, wait.
What? Good love don't come fast. Good God.
It does not. At all. Literally, figuratively.
Wow.